What's up, guys? Welcome to John's Daily Hustle. So I got something big planned for the day, or something different anyways. It's big for me, as you guys can see back there. Today, as you guys can see, we're finally dipping into something that I really wanted to do for a while now. We're going to finally get to run some heavy equipment. Today we were going to try to cram 2 landscape jobs into one day anyways, or at least one landscape job and one little kind of a landscape job, I guess. But either way, both of these jobs require me to run a backhoe. That's actually what you guys see back there on the back of my truck. Now, as a disclaimer, you guys will see here later, that was way too heavy for my truck. So once again, you guys know I'm overloading my half-ton truck. I'll be honest, she did not like pulling that at all. I gave it all she's got, and she definitely let me know that it was way too heavy for her. We can get in that in a later subject, because something's going to have to change in the future. So anyways, let's jump into this and I'll show you guys what we got going on. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this video. Alright, so here's what we got going on right now. Here's the working area. You guys can see the edging that was put down. The customer actually started the edging put down, and as you guys can see, it is not level. The customer did not want it level. They didn't care. They just wanted it down. It's almost like an angle iron, but it's made out of some kind of like foam rubber stuff. And my wife is putting down the landscape fabric there, and I am shoveling the rock and bring it in. Fun fact, I'm actually shoveling that with the wheelbarrow and shovel to begin with, as I was still trying to see whether or not the tractor would even fit, but I did lately learn that it does fit, as you guys see that power line there. The dimensions that the rental place told me that this tractor ended up being bigger than what the tractor actually was, so the tractor was smaller. And again, I do apologize for the wind noise you guys are going to see on these clips right here, as it's very windy today when I was filming this video. So please forgive me, but I am going to try to have some really good angles for this video. So right here you guys can see how tight of a fit it actually was between both sides of the gate and that power line coming down. So I was very nervous. There was quite a few times where I got really comfortable and I was just grazing against that power line. It was a very close fit, but man, this sure does beat using wheelbarrow and shovel. If we had to use the wheelbarrow and shovel, we would have not got this job done in time. But luckily that tractor did fit, and this is the second or third time already this year alone that I'm wishing I had one of those tractors. You guys remember that top dressing job I did? I really wish I had a tractor then. That would have made it a lot easier. So what I'm doing is I'm scooping up the rock and then spreading it out here, or at least dumping it here and then spreading it out if I can't spread it with the tractor. So once I got comfortable with the tractor, as you guys can see, I would take a scoop and I'd bring it in and try to spread the rock pretty much with the bucket and the tractor alone to where I wouldn't have to spread it by hand. I'll show you guys here in a few minutes how I spreaded it by hand. But as you guys saw, I got pretty close to those fence posts, or the posts of that deck. That's what's right there to the left, those 3 posts you see going down. They're the main supports of the deck. I got pretty close. I knew I was close to it, but I didn't realize I was that close to it. But you know, it's just one of those things, you start to get comfortable with stuff. Now, it's best to not get too comfortable, because that's when you make mistakes, as I know that all too well anyways. But I did alright on this job. I was pretty comfortable and pretty happy with it. It was a lot of fun to do. So here I was trying to be as easy with it as I could, because that tarp is not a heavy duty tarp at all. It's just a regular household tarp. that the customers put down when they had the gravel delivered. So I was trying not to tear the tarp because I knew that would leave quite a mess of rocks in the grass below it. And it did end up doing that towards the end, and it made quite a bit of a mess, but it wasn't terrible. Now here's one of my favorite shots. I've got just a nice little point of view, or first person point of view anyway, shot of me loading it and dumping it and everything. So check this out. So here's actually how I spread it. After I put my gloves on, I'm going to grab the rake, and I was actually spreading it by hand, but you'll see that did not last very long. After I spread it, I got worn out pretty quick, and I said, screw it, I'm going to try something. So what I ended up doing was I was like, you know what, I'm going to turn the tractor around, and we're going to try to use the hoe and spread the rock. Now, you'll have to bear with me, as this is one of my first times using a backhoe. I've used a backhoe maybe one other time at my brother's house, and that was it. So this is the first time using a backhoe in a very long time, and it was the first time using this backhoe. So I was trying to get used to the controls, as you guys are going to see here real soon. You'll be able to make fun of me, I guess, maybe on how I kind of sucked at doing it, but it's not meant for spreading material like this. You know, you can actually get an attachment instead of the teeth, and that's meant for doing grading work or finishing work like this, but not the bucket that I'm currently using. That bucket is only meant for digging, but I decided to try to do it anyways because it would save me a whole lot of wear and tear and save me some time. I'm a big one on, if I can not have to work as hard and let machines and equipment work for me as hard as they can, I'm all for it then. So, you know, work smarter, not harder. I live off of that saying. Well, it was kind of working, but as you guys can see, it didn't work completely. I ended up getting impatient with it and figured I could go a lot faster with the rake and doing it by hand. So the customer only wanted this about an inch or two thick. You know, basically you just don't see the fabric below it, and that's what I ended up scraping it out. And after doing it like this, then I was able to see what areas I needed to bring more material in. Now check this shot out. So here is the finished product. As you guys can see, there was just shy of enough rock to meet underneath of that porch there, underneath the deck, as you guys can see, but the finished product actually looks pretty good. I'm curious to see how the customer likes it after the first rain, and you know, it settles a little bit more and washes off some of that dust, but I'm actually pretty happy with it. It turned out pretty good. It was a nice little job and a nice little paycheck anyways, but the customer is going to be bringing in more rock for underneath the deck. They said it's going to be a little bit of a different rock because, as you guys know, that rock was a bit expensive, but we'll see if we get that part or if they're just going to do it themselves. Alright, so there you guys got to see. That was a really good job to do. Made a nice little chunk of change, and I actually had a lot of fun doing it once I realized that the tractor will work on it, and I got to run the tractor anyways. As you guys know, or if you don't know this about me, I'm wanting to get into more kind of work with tractors or heavy equipment, you know, some more excavation and grading jobs, stuff like that. That is my future goal, something to get into. So far, I would say that was a really good start getting into it. As you guys know, I'm well under-equipped, and I was just renting that tractor. I only have a half-ton truck, which, again, we're going to talk about that in a later video, because like I had said in the beginning of this video, something's going to have to change. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, because the more I know you guys like this video, the more I'm going to try to make more of these videos. The more I'm going to try to go get more of these jobs, and more I'm going to run more heavy equipment and show you guys. As long as I know you guys like watching it, I'm going to keep recording it. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.